given Israel's relentless assault of Palestinians and Palestinian territory and the West's disavowal of Palestinian suffering, we must return to Edward Said's notion of Orientalism to understand the history of this treatment of Muslims and Palestinians. Now, after I do this, I want you to tell me how it resonates today. I'm going to tell you what I think, but really, I need more and more people to situate this idea in the present day. Did it teach you something you didn't know before? Does it resonate? Does it fall short in certain ways? Let me know. Now, Edward Said wrote the book called Orientalism in 1978, which should give you an idea of how much of a long-lasting issue this is. Himself, being a Palestinian American, knew very well about the horrors that Palestinians continually face, not only them, but anyone in the Muslim world, through all of the atrocities that we've seen inflicted there. If after Iraq, Desert Storm in the 90s, other events, other war efforts that have treated Muslim lives as being less grievable than other lives. Now, in his text, he tells us that the Orient doesn't really exist. And when he talks about Orientalism, he's talking about a field of study in Europe, in France, Britain, and in other places that sought to understand the Arabic and Muslim-speaking world and to view them as being uncivilized, undeveloped, uneducated, as sexually promiscuous, and therefore being subhuman. Specifically for the French, they thought that the Arabic-speaking world was therefore closer to nature, and so there was a kind of fantasization about them, a kind of romanticization about these places as being therefore closer to God. So they had that kind of strange inverse power associated with them, but it was used to further justify colonizing them, further justify exploiting them for their resources. In contrast, the British just viewed them as being a passageway to their economic success in India, in Pakistan, and in other places. But in any case, the Orient was studied by many different universities and departments under the banner of Orientalism so that policymakers, so that corporate interests could better understand how these people functioned and to drum up public support for continued violence inflicted upon them. And this has been going on for centuries, and we certainly see it playing out today. Let me know how you see it playing out today.